election day. So if you're hungover from the election, wake up. Because it's a new day. I have my co-host, my former co-host to my right of me, my wife, Kia. Say something.
Hi, guys.
Hey, she's saying hey.
Surprise, surprise, I'm back. And we're going to talk about politics today a little bit.
Political conversation. So, yes, it's November 5th, Wednesday. It's the day after an historic election night across the country, too. Not just New York, but across the country, where we saw several key elections be taken and some surprising blue victories and blue quote-unquote waves, which may be a precursor for what happens next year for midterms. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's acknowledge what happened last night. First and foremost, we are New York natives. So shape up's nice. We're New York natives. So
if you can tell, big New York. Look.
Yeah.
Orange and blue skies over here.
Orange and blue sky, all day orange and blue.
You couldn't tell?
Yeah, big blue. Thank you for this hoodie, by the way. Thank you, courtesy of you.
Of course,
custom hoodie. But yeah, it's Wednesday, the day after a historic night. We'll start with us as New Yorkers. We experienced Zohran Mamdani's victory over Andrew Cuomo and Curtis Sliwa to be a mayoral elect for this great city of New York. That was the numbers itself. We'll have to look it up as we talk. But the numbers have been crazy as far as who came out from. Seems like he did a lot more better this time around with Black and brown people, in particular as voters and demos. Before we get ahead of ourselves with the details, how do you feel about it?
Well, first and foremost,
I know you hyped.
We did a lot. We did a special a few months ago when he won the primary. So for those that, of course, we did right after he won the primary. Wow, look at that! You don't even remember.
I don't. That's how much this happened. When was the primary? When was that? Let's go back.
June 23rd or 26th.
It's only been 4 or 5 months. Okay. So he won back then.
And so he's 34 years old, born in Uganda. Our first Muslim mayor. He's the youngest mayor in over 100 years in New York City. Grew up in the Upper West Side and went to Bronx Science High School, which is one of the most prestigious specialized high schools here in New York City.
Yep.
Is now living in Astoria, Queens. And he won over 1 million votes. I believe the percentage was 50.4% of voters voted for Mamdani. Mm-hmm. So Mamdani, look at that.
Get used to it.
I'm gonna call him Big Zo. Big Zo.
I'm gonna call him Kwame. It's by his middle name.
Oh, you controversial.
Mayor Kwame.
Wait, hold up, because there was another Mayor Kwame that ain't.
Yeah. He was wilding in Detroit. Strippers, dead bodies. What are you doing?
All right, but anyways,
and big ass suits, but whatever.
But anyways, so congratulations to Zohran Mamdani for winning the New York City mayoral election of 2025. So
can I ask you before we continue? Mm-hmm. How do you feel about voter turnout? Because let me give you some numbers real quick. They said in 2021 for early voting, there was approximately 169,879 early voters last time before the Tuesday election. And then this time around, before Tuesday hit, there were 735,317 people who voted early.
So that number quadrupled, basically.
Mind you, I think for total, there was 2 million voters that came out.
Over 2 million voters turned out.
He had over 1.1 million.
It was the largest voter turnout since 1969 in New York City. And New York City, unfortunately, is known for having a low voter turnout for mayoral races, usually because they're not held during presidential races, right? So your question was,
how do you feel about
voter turnout?
The voter turnout.
Okay.
I have my thoughts, but go ahead.
Okay, so I think it's great that so many people actually were motivated to go ahead and vote in this election cycle. However, my problem is that, unfortunately, a lot of people are motivated by spite and by a common enemy.
You're coming on to my
So I love that people were motivated to vote. My problem is that y'all need to continue having the same energy when things are good too.
Go ahead. Yeah, I agree.
I think that more people should be okay with because I think that is very discouraged to be politically engaged. It's very much dismissed here. Like, definitely the attitude, especially like in our communities, is like, man, they're all the same. They're all crooks. People are very dismissive, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the policies that take place affect us the most.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And because now things, on a national level are definitely a lot more contentious. People feel like, yes, I gotta go and vote. No, but I need you to feel like that when you're doing good, when you're thriving at work, when your quality of life is doing good too. Go ahead.
You touched upon something that makes me remind you of that Dave Chappelle bit on his stand-up special, Killing Them Softly, where he's talking about voting and killing them softly, and he goes, "You ever notice how men don't tell each other who they're voting for, especially white guys? You ask a white homie like, hey, who are you voting for this fall? Dave, what are you doing? You're getting all personal." Anyway, I was talking about white last night.
Well, right, because we live in a culture where it's like we don't talk about politics or religion, right?
Why do you think people don't talk about?
Because people don't like confrontation. People don't like being questioned about their beliefs.
About their ideologies.
It forces them to
take a stance.
Not only take a stance, but then actually evaluate if they really feel how they feel, or they're just going along with what they've been told.
Right. A lot of people, unfortunately, go with the flow or go with what they've been told, and they're content with living in the Matrix versus Neo. I know you never saw Matrix.
I did watch the first Matrix with you. You made me watch it.
You did?
Like within the last year, yeah.
Well, if you remember in the Matrix, there was this character played by that old Italian dude. I forgot his name. Joe Pantaleone.
Oh, I know who that is.
And he does a Benedict Arnold. He betrays Neo and them and goes to the robots, the machines, and goes, listen, this is where they're hiding. Go get them. And when you do that, erase my memory. Put me back in the Matrix and allow me to really taste steak in my brain. Allow me to really experience life, even though it's all fake. Put me back in the simulation, because I'd rather be in the simulation being lied to versus knowing the realness and confronting the realness. So what you're saying kind of reminds me of that. Some people just want to be in a simulation. Like, just let me be.
I get it. And listen, and I get it, but I also feel like it's also like, in a way, like ridiculed or looked down upon sometimes when you do have certain opinions and you're okay with like having intellectual conversations with people where you go back and forth and exchange ideas, right? Like, especially in my community, like especially with women, like we've been discouraged to like, oh no, we're not paying attention to that. What is that? Like, you know how many people, I went to go get my eyebrows done, and the lady that threads my eyebrows, she's a Muslim woman. I told her, oh yeah, I just finished voting. And she was like, oh really? Oh, what's going on today? And I was like, oh, we're voting for the mayor. And she was like, oh really? And who's winning? I was like, well, it looks like Mamdani's gonna win. And she was like, oh, I don't know. I think I've heard his name. And I was like, interesting. And she's a Muslim woman. Yeah. So yeah, like it's discouraged. Like, you don't need to know about that, girl. We're gonna have the decisions made for you, right? Mm-hmm. But anyways.
By the way, sidebar. I think today's the 40th anniversary of women being allowed to open a bank account without and a mortgage without a man.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, you were saying.
And people are upset about that, by the way.
Yeah. But yeah, you were saying.
Okay, so let's get into it, right?
Real quick, because I asked you about voter turnout, and you told me how you felt.
Yes, and now you.
I agree, and that's why I asked you, because I feel like I'm tired of the pendulum that swings back and forth every 4 years, every 3 years, because we're mad this time. Now we're mad that time. Where it's like, I feel like people should be more engaged daily, even when the times are good for you.
But now, Mike, how do people engage daily? How should people engage daily? Let me give me some tips or some advice on how can people on a daily or even a weekly or even a monthly basis engage.
I would treat it like sports. As being a man, and this is not just for men, women do it too. But being a dude and a sports fan, plenty of times I've been in fantasy leagues where I have to daily check who's doing what. Joel Embiid, he's out again. So and so has a cold, so I won't start him tonight. Where I'm constantly being a nerd about an activity that involves nothing. It's just sports. but I'm fine tuning it with a comb, like going over stuff. I think people should treat politics like that. People should know, what's my congressman doing today? What's my assemblywoman doing today? What did she do last week? Did she get through? Did she pass that thing she said she would pass? Is that pothole still there on Main Street? Let me find out. And if you don't treat it like sports, where you're constantly on top of it, constantly intrigued by it, you should be intrigued by what's going on in your community. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not, then you have no one to blame for yourself.
I'm the type of person that believes in community and the power of people uniting, right? So for me, it's yes, I do agree that you need to at least update yourself on like what's going on. And even if you're not directly involved, you know, being associated and communicating with people that are involved, right? On a more direct level with government, number one. Number two, I think that, and how do you get those updates? You get it from credible sources. Sorry, New York Post, you're not credible.
They're a while today with their.
I know. Newsmax, you are not credible.
That front page of the Marxist something, whatever.
So that's number one. Number two, I think that on the most basic level, I think it's also like educating people, right? So like when you have certain level of information, right, and you have these conversations with friends, right, that they'll passively say something that is completely misinformed. You'd be like, hey, by the way, I know you didn't mean to say anything offensive or like you were just joking, but I do want to correct that. That's actually not true. Right. And I think that it's okay to challenge people. It's okay. I think it's okay to provide people with new information. Like, and if they take it personal, then you have to question that, okay, is this like a friend or like an associate? That's number one. Number two, I think is supporting local businesses, supporting community organizations that are actually giving back to the community, volunteering, donating. If you can't donate money, if you can't donate goods, then donate your time. Right. Also providing information of resources to people that need it. Some people go as far as like signing up for community boards, right? And signing up for that school PTA meeting to see what's going on in their child's school, right? So there's so many ways that we could civically engage. That doesn't even have to be directly with quote unquote government, but do something.
I agree.
But it's easy for us to say it as educators, right? Like,
and yes, it's easy for us to say, but your point does stand though. We have to be more engaged, more civically engaged. I want to ask you a question. I want to go a little off script.
Okay.
If you can, and we'll list it right now. We'll list it. Can you rank for me from 1 through 5, or from most important to least important? How do you rank Zoran's his commitments, what he wants to do, his pledges?
Well, first of all, let me tell you what he's pledged. Well, I actually have it written down.
Good. I want to listen to me.
So number one is implementing free child care for all New York City children ages 6 weeks to 5 years old.
Okay.
Making city buses free. City buses free.
Yeah.
Raising the minimum wage to $30 an hour by 2030. Freezing the rent. City-run grocery stores. So those are 5. So
I want to ask you, as a game, as a lighthearted game, can you tell me which ones are the most important to you and least important to you? Given the fact that we think all of them are important and all of them are necessary. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, not even that radical. Not even to me.
Let's talk about that, because I can see why some people might say, yo, you wildin'. Okay, hold on. I think definitely the free childcare for all in New York City is absolutely necessary, right? We know that in most homes are 2-parent homes, right? The cost of living is extremely high in New York City. So if you plan to have a family or grow a family in New York, you're going to need some assistance, right? Depending on how much you make, annually, you should have some subsidy help. Like this, I don't think that's ludicrous to ask. Like, hey, if you want my time and my labor to help with the economy, and we can compromise by, hey, I can continue having children because that's something that I want. When you want me to contribute to the economy, well, help me subsidize. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think it's ludicrous to ask somebody for that, right? That's number one. City-run grocery stores is big for me.
Really? Why?
And I'm going to tell you why. First of all, he's proposing to have one store in each borough. Okay, and he's only gonna work with basically having working with people within the state to have goods priced at a very affordable price for residents, right? And I think that with everything that's going on right now, like the way we, excuse me, like with the SNAP benefits, right? There's a lot of people that are not even on SNAP that still struggle, you know, getting services, right? You know, with the amount of food deserts that there are, especially like in the Bronx and in places in like all the way in East Brooklyn and even East Harlem, right? Food deserts, right? I think it's important to have access to affordable quality food. Yo, I read a news headline where they discussed that almost 40% of all of the food that is produced in the United States goes to waste. Why do we have so much food waste here?
Crazy.
And then at the same time have so many people like not having correct access to food? We can actually help with the food waste by providing those goods and at an affordable price. I don't think that that's crazy. Call me crazy. I don't think that's crazy. I don't think that's ludicrous. Raising making city buses free. Okay, so I don't take the bus, you don't take the bus anymore like that, right? So we're drivers, right? Like but if it helps somebody, instead of paying $130 a month for an MTA car just to get on the bus, and they're saving that money and putting it towards food or something into the economy now. And it also helps with congestion and traffic. Like that's easier for me because now I drive around. There's less people on the road. Right. And they're only talking about city buses. They're not talking about trains.
Would you rather have free, a train or a bus?
Man, they're never going to make the trains free. Come on, man. They're never going to make the trains free.
Same.
But hey, you know who uses most city buses is elderly folk that are on a fixed income, or that live in these remote areas where there is no subway. Like where we live, there's no subway here. You got to take a bus. So like, I'm not against that.
Me either.
And mind you, I wouldn't quote unquote directly benefit from it, but indirectly, if there's less people on the road, if there's more money because people are spending it in your community, then yeah, I indirectly benefit from that. I don't see a problem with that. Now, the controversial ones are raising the minimum wage to $30 by 2030. I think that's controversial. I understand like the cost of living. I'm just thinking about small businesses. Like, how are they going to be able to afford to pay somebody $30 an hour? A small business. So I think that he's definitely going to have to like compromise a little bit with that. Like I empathize with small business. No. I think that realistically, maybe we could go up to like maybe $22 an hour, right? Realistically.
Where are we at now?
I think we're at
17.
You could go up to 20. I think you go up to 20 and you only impose it on like companies that have maybe like 50 or more employees.
And sidebar, in 2002, Christian Val Scott hooked me up with a job at Modell's.
How much are you making an hour?
First of all, rest in peace to Modell's. That is rest in peace. Kids, there'll be people watching this video 20 years from now. They're like, what's Modell's? Modell's, rest in peace.
It was a sporting goods store that went out of business not too long ago.
Like Dick's, pause, but better. Better Dick, pause.
Shout out to my brother. He loves Dick's. Pause.
Jesus, pause all that. Summer camp's like, ooh.
Hey, yo.
No, Modell's is a shit. But I was making $7.17 an hour. And on Fridays, I was able to grab my check, go to the cashier. Now I was at the bank across the street.
And cash it
right there. And I was like, give me my
I'll do you one better. My
$112 for the weekend.
My second job, I was working at a children's retail store and I was making $5.25 an hour. And that was in the winter of 2002.
$5.25.
What's
minimum wage back then? Like $2?
No, it was like $5.20. I was making minimum wage at that time. But anyways,
but yeah,
that's controversial. I get it, and I think that
let's go.
It's hard to sell that, especially to like a small business owner, because now you think like, oh yeah, they're going to pay people more. But yeah, a lot of people are also going to lose their job because they won't be able to afford to pay everybody, right? So that's one. Now, the most controversial one, and I think this is the one that got everybody snatched up like a scrunchie, is freezing the rent. Okay, so I just want to be a little bit more specific.
I can't wait to be Diddy in 20 years by landlord money.
Yeah.
All you ballers out there, all you guys all you passport bros who are landlords by day and moonlight as ballers at night.
And
whoop-de-fucking-do.
And we need to talk about how Airbnb has absolutely been a culprit in the housing crisis right now. But anyways, Mamdani plans to address the housing issue by tripling the city's production of publicly subsidized rent-stabilized home at 200,000 new units over the next 10 years. The plan will benefit households that make less than $70,000 a year, and it will cost the city $100 billion over the next decade. Okay.
Fuck it.
Let me tell you something. I just want to say something.
Fuck it.
And since COVID, New York City rent has gone up over 50%.
Damn, COVID.
You cannot get a studio and a fifth floor walk up in the hood for less than $2,000 with no washer dryer.
Fucking Joker steps.
Yeah, Joker steps. Like you in the hood, like next door, like they cooking crack.
Yeah, like
right. So, affordability is an issue not only in New York but everywhere, right? Because everybody's complaining about affordability, and a lot of it has to do with like the fact that in COVID, a lot of big corporations like BlackRock, they bought up a lot of real estate, and they kind of fixed up the homes, and then they jacked up the price. But we don't want to regulate. We want no regulation, right?
Mind your sidebar. You mentioned BlackRock. I read today. I'm not sure this, but I read today that there are allegedly, there's more empty home units around the world than there are homeless people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and they're saying a lot of these units are just stuff that rich people bought or like rich companies bought. They just hold it down and don't do nothing with it.
Yep.
What are you doing?
And I feel like, okay, I like the idea of growing more affordable housing.
Not the capitalism.
But here is where I feel like it's controversial, right? Freezing the rent. There are some people that have, and people are not gonna like what I'm about to say about this. There are some.
Oh, you didn't do it. No, I'm playing.
There are some people that are paying like $300 for like a 3-bedroom apartment in 2025, right? Mm-hmm. Because they got that apartment in 1981. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's like, okay, and this is not me pocket watching. I'm not a hater. I'm not pocket watching. But I do think that it should be according to your income. Not so much like you got it at this price, it stays here. Like I think that there has to be a give and take with landlords, right? Because guess what? Your rent isn't going up, but his taxes are going up.
Right.
So I think that we have to be a little bit first. Say hi to Charlie, everybody. She's over there minding her business. But I think that proposing what is real affordable housing is, listen, we are going to charge you according to your income. If you're very low income, we're going to charge you only 30% of your rent. If you're median income, you're anywhere between 40 and 50%, and you will cap out at 50%. Nobody should pay more than 50% of their income in housing. I'm sorry.
I agree.
But those that can afford it, they're going to have to pay a little bit more money. I get it. Right? But the reality is that most people cannot afford it. Like it is very difficult to pay rent, pay for childcare, pay for a bus. You can't afford a car, so pay for the bus and the train, and like have a good quality of life here. Like everything goes to that. And I don't think that there's anything like radical about that. That's not radical. Like what's wrong with y'all? And a lot of y'all have been definitely conditioned by a lot of capitalist propaganda. I'm sorry that I'm about to use these little fancy lefty words. Excuse me. A lot of capitalist propaganda in regards to the benefits of capitalism. I per se, I'm going to tell you something. I resist using the word like socialism sometimes because most people don't understand what socialism is. So what I like to say is regulated capitalism, right?
Sure.
Yeah, you can make you could open up your business, make money, make profits, but there's rules. Mm-hmm. And you got to pay a certain amount and give it back to some of the people that it doesn't go around. I'm sorry, I don't think that's ludicrous. I don't think that's freeloading. No, freeloading is buying a bunch of homes and leaving it vacant. Like, what is wrong with y'all? And another thing, a lot of y'all think y'all rich because y'all making $150,000 a year. Oh, I got $150,000 a year. I got a car. You know, I own my little apartment, or I own a house. First of all, do you really own that house, or are you still paying a mortgage on that? Because no, the bank owns that house.
Oh, yeah.
Your car, have you finished paying off that car? Because no, the bank still owns that car. And if you got a stimulus check in 2020, guess what? You are a commoner. You are a poor. Your money is not that long, because that means that you qualified for it. And guess what? An average of, I think it was like 160 million Americans received the stimulus check.
It's a big number.
That's a big ass number. So you know what that means? Most of us are commoners.
Which you see with the SNAP situation right now. The SNAP situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people are reliant on SNAP across different demographics.
And most of the people that are relying on SNAP are who, right? They're elderly people that have retired and are on a fixed income. Is a lot of children that are on SNAP, right? And there's also a lot of people that are actually working, but they don't make enough money to eat and pay the bills. So that's why they qualify for SNAP. This whole thing about like freeloading, I'm like, okay, so we're gonna step on the people that may need a little bit of food assistance, but we're gonna say absolutely nothing about sending $40 billion to Argentina. Okay.
Yeah, why?
And completely screwing our farmers here with the soybean production. Like that those contracts are not coming back to America. That's it, it's over. You're screwing the farmers. And where are we supposed to be? America first?
I thought we were.
And I just don't understand. People are so loud about the SNAP thing, but they're not loud about what's going on over there. But anyways, go ahead, Mike. I'm talking a lot.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. You were preaching to the choir. I think people need to, whether you're a landlord, bro, whether you're super economist / capitalist, because I watch sometimes clips from people from CNBC, because CNBC is not like MSNBC. CNBC is a finance NBC station where they're very much like center right.
Wall Street Journal.
They're Wall Street people.
Bloomberg News.
And they've been going in about Mamdani's scared. And it's just like, y'all gonna make y'all money. If y'all really got it like that, if y'all really ballers like that, y'all gonna make your money. Like my boy Lefty from Detroit, he was just saying like what he don't like seeing from right wing people is that like a lot of times they don't compete. They just like wanna like drag you down. So it's like if you have better ideas than Mamdani, Cuomo, or Cleaver, present them.
Mm-hmm.
Beat them with the ideas. Don't beat them saying that, oh, look at his beard. It's really darker, and from 20 years ago, we're really.
Oh, look, he took a picture with a guy that said this thing. You know how many pictures I've taken with people that I do not even remember or care about?
You know what's funny though? Sidebar. I can say that too. But Chris Rock had a great joke from his last stand-up where he was talking about sex versus love in a man's point of view, and I forgot why. I forgot what pop culture thing he was saying. But he was like, I can't tell you how many asses I've licked.
Oh my God.
But I can tell you every hand I've held. And that is some real shit as a dude. A dude may not hold your hand. He might fuck with you. That doesn't mean he held your hand. But I can count how many times I held that hand with a woman. Which is more significant to sex. You know what I'm saying? In the long run. But I said, go ahead.
No, but you said that's the same.
I said to say, I don't know why I said that. We were talking about finance and the finance bros.
About like, I brought the attention about taking pictures with people that you don't even know.
Oh, yeah. Trying to discredit Zoran because of bullshit, minimal nonsense, which lets me know you're not competing with me. You don't have nothing of substance to come back.
And let's get to the meat and potatoes of things. Okay, guys. Here's my personal opinion. The reason why Mamdani won is for really like about 3 to 4 reasons. Number one, his opponents were not formidable candidates, okay?
They weren't viable options.
They were not good opponents, okay? Cuomo has the experience. He has the the lifetime legacy of being involved in politics.
He knows the playbook.
Yes, the problem is that playbook also has a lot of
outdated plays.
No, not only outdated plays, but it has a lot of corruption, and also he did a lot of mistakes. You know, the way he cut funding on Medicaid, he cut funding in the DOE. I mean, he cut funding for mental health services here in New York City. You know, he cut funding for housing in New York City. Like, he did a lot that really affected New York City while he was governor, right? And I think also seeing the people that endorsed him and supported him was a big red flag. Like, a lot of the big billionaires, you know, they backed him up. Elon Musk, Bloomberg,
Bill Ackman.
And these are people. These are people with special interests, right?
Absolutely.
And they've been able to influence politics through their money, right? I mean, Bloomberg is really the one. That motherfucker gave him $8 million to
Bloomberg funded a company that did ads where they put a picture. They put an airplane going toward the Twin Towers with Mamdani written on it in red. That's crazy.
That's number one. Number two, Curtis Lewa. Now, I'm going to keep it real with y'all about Curtis Lewa. Let me tell you, he reminds me of like that uncle in Thanksgiving that if you give him a few drinks, he's going to say some wild shit, but he's hilarious.
Right.
I think he's a true New York City eccentric, right? And I can honestly tell that he cares about the city.
He has conviction.
The problem is that a lot of his proposals were things that, like, stuff like Mayor Giuliani ran on back in like 93, right? He was tough on crime. You know, he did have a good proposal on housing, though, that I did like, right? His was definitely based on like, no, it should be by income, right? But then there was some things that he would say that were wild that I was like, oh, nah, he's definitely a Republican, definitely.
Sure.
You know? And the thing is this, here's where they really messed up both Sliwa and Cuomo. Oh, and by the way, Sliwa, he gave us some of the greatest quotes in this election cycle. Come on, man. He gave us, Cuomo was slapping fannies and slapping fannies and killing grannies.
Yeah. It's funny.
Come on, man.
As he really was outside while killing old people.
Yo, and he's crazy because he will always remind you how much he was part of the Guardian Angels, right? But isn't it interesting that Mamdani's record was always being challenged? Like, he's inexperienced, but they would never say that about Sliwa. Sliwa's never held like any seat in politics either. He doesn't have any political experience either.
And mind you, I do think,
but they never like said that about Sliwa. But anyways,
mind you, sidebar, I do think as an assemblyman, Mamdani did get some buses in Queens to be free. So, but whatever. Go ahead.
But with that being said, I think that their biggest mistake for the both of them, number one, they ran on tough on crime. Ladies and gentlemen, crime in New York City is at almost a nearly historic low.
Yep.
Crime is not, okay, of course, safety is always going to be an issue in New York City, but crime is not a real issue in New York, right?
It's not a pressing issue.
The biggest issue in New York is affordability, the economy. Everything is too fucking expensive, okay? The money is not circulating the way it's supposed to. And how is that possible when so many rich people live here and get to benefit from all of these things, right? That's number one. So I think that they were completely out of touch with that. But also number two, they didn't take Mamdani serious and they didn't take young voters serious. So they didn't go crazy with the social media. Like I saw Cuomo towards the end try to use social media, but they really were like, nah, we're going to go back old school. We're just going to knock on doors and that's it. Like, no. You need a marketing team. You need a social media team. You need somebody that knows how to edit videos. They ain't do that. So that's number one. That's the number one reason why I feel like Mamdani won. He had terrible opponents. Number two, Mamdani was relatable. Mamdani was outside. Mamdani was shaking hands, talking to people. He was not afraid to get in the paint. Okay, he was on Fordham Road asking people questions. He was going to the parades. He was going to the meetings with people.
I'm a Knicks fan. Last season, he would be outside of MSG interviewing people after the game, and I'd be like, who's this Indian cat that's always there? And he grew his base, and he was able to capture the pulse of different facets of NYC, whether MSG, whether it's Fordham Road, whatever. He was able to tap into different people and just ask them questions, and also humor people.
And he just seemed like you know what, like young new blood. Like, yo, you know what? He may not have the experience, but at least I know he's not corrupted. At least I know, you know what? He's coming in with good ideas that may or may not benefit. I think that most people that voted for Mamdani know, like, a lot of his proposals are going to be very difficult to achieve. But just the fact that he's trying and he's outside and letting you know, I'm like, nah, I got to go with the guy that's fighting for me, for my best interest. And number 3, the reason why Mamdani won is because of Trump. Trump has single-handedly, first of all, the economy is not doing well. All of you crypto bros that be talking shit to me, oh, but Bitcoin is at 120. Bitcoin is going crazy. Yo, the stock market and crypto is not the economy.
Yeah.
Okay? Because only the people that can afford to invest in the stock market are the ones in it. But a lot of people are not investing in the stock market. I mean, I should definitely tell everybody you should invest in the stock market. But anyways, okay. The economy is not doing well. The tariffs are killing us, okay? Number 2, there has been over 1 million layoffs just this year, and we're only in November. We haven't even finished December, and there's been 1 million layoffs. Right now, the government is shut down as we are recording this, okay? And there are people that have not received a paycheck in over 30 days. Federal employees that have not received a paycheck in over 30 days. Yet, the politicians are still getting their money.
I'm scared to travel with the TSA stuff and the lines. Get back to work. Get them paid again so you get back to work.
So and it's holiday season. Like, come on, like right now, you're gonna hurt their pockets at this time. And I see a lot of people trying to blame the Democrats, like, oh no, they won't come to the table because they want certain things added to their demands. But it's like, all right, guys, they don't want to compromise your health care. Your health care premium is going to go way up if this gets approved. So what do you want? It's like you take a step forward to take 5 steps backwards. So with that being said, I also want to say, Trump endorsed Cuomo.
I know, nasty.
And that goes to show, guys, Trump, who is a Republican, endorsed a lifetime Democrat who had to run as an independent, and he did not endorse the Republican candidate, Curtis Sliwa. What does that tell you, guys? These are context clues to find the main idea in this paragraph. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not about Democrat versus Republican. I do not want to hear y'all talking to me about the Democrats and the Republicans. This is about rich and poor. This is about money and access and power versus no money and access. That's all this is about, y'all.
Basically, Trump is saying we're not on the same team, but we're on the same team. And that team, the team that we are together on, it outweighs Democrats and Republicans. It's the money team.
Exactly.
This guy right here, he's trying to dismantle the money team, or at least adjust it a little bit to make it more fairer. Where me and you, Cuomo, we try to squeeze the juice as much as we can out of the society. And our team needs to win.
Yep.
So, rats always find themselves together at the end of the day.
Exactly. So with that being said, and to me, it's just like that right there is the most perfect example of like, guys, if you're still having a debate about Democrats versus Republicans in 2025, you have completely missed the main idea of the paragraph. Okay, the main idea is about rich versus poor. This is an attack on class.
Yeah, class. This is classes. And Zoran's campaign, or the response he got from the campaign showed how there's people out there who who are still emotionally invested in classism.
Mm-hmm. And listen, first of all, another big win yesterday was the New Jersey governor's race, where we have Mikey Sherrill win a grand victory over
Jack Citarelli.
Man, I call him Cucaracha.
Jackie. Listen.
And that was his third time running and he lost.
Right. And this was a race for my Jersey folks. This was a race where I thought I could see him winning. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be tight. It's going to be a tight race. It's going to take a few days. Then they get counted up. And by Friday, they'll say Jackie Boy won. So that's how I thought going into this. I thought, okay, well, it's nice for Jersey that she's center left. She used to be in military. She's a pilot, helicopter, and etc. So I thought, okay, maybe she'll get some votes. Then last weekend Obama came for her in Jersey. I said to myself, oh, maybe she's desperate. Maybe she needs the big guns. So maybe she really won't. She really won't win.
How do you feel about Obama endorsing people now?
I think it's almost a privilege. It's not privilege. It's almost a duty he has to do because his star power and likeness is still that strong. So he does it for the party. He's the cosign that all rappers got for the last 40 years. Drake was always nice, but that Wayne cosign was great. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know how I feel about that.
Eminem is nice, but for some reason the Dr. Dre thing made it be like, oh, we trust him. Cosigns matter.
I think
cosigns
they matter to older people. I don't think it matters to the young
it matters
people.
to you. It matters to you.
I'm not a young person. I'm a middle person.
I'm sure it matters to Destiny.
Cosigns. No, they don't. No, they don't. People look at Obama like status quo.
They're the most free today. The young kids, the Gen Zs, they're the most accepting. Yes, but are you saying people need gatekeepers? Some people are so comforted by gatekeepers.
Yeah, of course.
I think a lot more than people want to admit. By the way.
I think so too.
A lot of people, women will say all the time, I don't want to lead at night, or I don't want to lead after work. I want to be told what to do, or I want not told to do, but I want to be told this is the plan. This is what we're doing. Mind you, I'm like, but bitch, did you say this? Did you say that you want equal rights and the equal whatever?
But with that being okay, I hear what you're saying, but. Watching the New Jersey governor's race was definitely like an interesting from a outsider point of view, because obviously I'm not from New Jersey. It was an interesting social experiment on gender roles, because Mikey Sherrill, first of all, just the name alone is very androgynous. You can't tell that she's a female. And in every single commercial, she was riding, she was a pilot, she was on a helicopter, she was shooting big guns. It's like she had to emasculate herself in order to assure a certain demographic, like, look at me, I'm tough, I'm not soft.
But what sidebar, what if that's really her? Like, because my thing is, what's the alternative? Her being in salon for a campaign? Like,
my thing is that, but let's be honest. She's not G.I. Jane, bro. And that's what she was selling. She was G.I. Jane. But I understand why she did it, because people don't want soft. People want strong. People want tough, And she was smart enough to say, you know what? I'm going to put myself as Mikey Sherrill. Because that's confusing, right? What girl named Mikey? But then again, we have a daughter named Charlie.
Charlie.
But it was interesting to watch. And then also in VA, the governor's race also happened, and I forgot the lady's name. My apologies.
Elaine Spanberger.
She won over a very conservative
Winsome.
Yo, she's Jamaican, right? Religious, conservative, MAGA lady, Black woman at that. It's interesting. They hate DEI, but then they try to use DEI to get us to vote that way.
Exactly. Because I would see, Abigail Spanberger.
Mm-hmm. And she won, the Democratic woman. She won.
She won for Virginia. She's very like center left, and she had some words about Mom Donnie they weren't all that great, but it don't matter at this point.
Do you feel that?
Rats.
Again, I don't think we should look at it as Democrat versus Republican, but how do you feel like Mamdani's win? And first of all, this big blue wave. what do you think that says about voters right now at this moment? The fact that all of these Democratic representatives got elected.
It signifies buyer's remorse from 10 months ago, from 12 months ago. It signifies that people don't pay attention until they feel the pot was hot. If you tell them, yo, that pot's hot, grab a mitt.
People are like, no, I
got it.
Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, I got it. I'm stronger than you, so I can take it.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it happens, oh shit.
Oh shit, I got a blister.
Yeah. So, you see it with different demographics, conservative Black folks, the Latin vote, a lot of people, men, older men, guys who went right.
Oh, the Latin vote.
Guys who went right hardcore last year, they now say, oh shoot, my coworker got deported. Oh, my mom, whatever.
Oh shit, I got laid off. Oh shit. The economy, I'm not seeing my money. It's not spreading the way it's supposed to.
There are no coal mines in the Bronx after all. It's like, yeah.
I mean, I don't mean to laugh.
But buyer's remorse. I say buyer's remorse was a big factor in this quote unquote blue wave.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like it's that pendulum that I told you about that I do not like. I don't like the pendulum. I want people to be fully informed once and for all.
That's never gonna happen.
I know. So but I'll take it for now. Really, I would tell people now, listen, to the Democrats who got elected and to the ones who are already here. Now is your time in the next 12 months to be doing your damnedest to prove your worth to your constituents, and at the same time mobilize for the midterms next year, because you want this blue wave to continue.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to prove to other people out there in other counties why it's important to go blue.
I think it's also important. I think it's also important right now. People are nervous, right? People want to play in the center. And I think that at this point, centrism only works when everything is good. But unfortunately, we're not doing good. You have to kind of push a little bit further left in order to bring things more together, bring things more to the forefront. Like I like Mamdani because people look at him as this radical person, which, by the way, that's all propaganda by the right. Okay, he is not some radical Muslim. Get the fuck out of here.
No.
And most people could see through that. Like, no, this motherfucker, he a regular ass person. Like, we're talking, he's not over here putting Sharia law and all of that. Like, y'all wilding. Your Islamophobia was on fire.
Yeah, the xenophobia, Islamophobia.
It was calling him anti-Semitic every single day. The New York Post went crazy.
What will he do if 9/11 happens again? Will he just stand still?
Yo, that's crazy.
I'll say this though.
What?
I'll say that I'm someone who's always enjoyed like medieval times stories, where there's like kings and queens and there's a people who's poor and destitute in the city, and it's a monarchy system, and you see how the whole system plays out. Whenever you watch those shows or movies or made up shit like Game of Thrones, you always see that people really, us as fans, we galvanize around the commoners. We be saying, oh man, the commoners got it wrong. That king sucks ass. Oh, there's not enough bread on that street. Oh no, they can't do laundry outside.
That king is bad. We gotta get rid of him. He gotta go.
He's balling too much. No, we're for the people in the show. But in real life, y'all motherfuckers want to be King Louis III or whatever.
Y'all was rooting for Joffrey in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, y'all are some
Y'all was rooting for Joffrey.
Y'all are Joffrey apologists.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all might be the name of the podcast. Y'all are Joffrey apologists.
No. Straight up Nazi apologists. Because we have people right now that are straight up like, no, the Nazis were misunderstood. I'm like, what? What?
Listen, you put about $10 million more in Hitler's pocket back then, he might have gotten off. Be like, no, I didn't do it. It was them. So it's like money.
And the reason why I also feel like this is why you got to go a little bit further left. The reason why Trump got reelected is because we did not go for, we indicted him with charges of January 6th, but we let him go off easily. We did not actually hold him accountable for what he did. And that's why he was able to come back, and he came back with a vengeance. And that's why he's doing so much political retaliation against his enemies right now. The way he's intending, like Letitia James and people like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm like, no, this is the time where, like, no, if this person is clearly doing unconstitutional things and they're doing things that are hurting people, we cannot just be like, well, you know, we'll just let it go for now. No, they gotta be held accountable.
Yeah.
Why were the people in January 6th pardoned? We need the Nuremberg trials. We need to bring the Nazis. Yo. Why were you participating in this bullshit? And a lot of them are gonna say, well, that was my job. I was being told what to do. No, but you had a decision. Like all these ICE agents, yo, fuck ICE.
And those ICE agents come in all persuasion, by the way.
It hurts me even more when I see people, when I see brown people, yellow people over here going, talking about ICE, like repping ICE.
What they're repping is money, separatism.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people want to feel important,
mm-hmm.
so they feel like the less of y'all that's here.
Mm-hmm.
means more quote unquote money for me and more space for me.
But that's not true.
And then my excellence that's in my own head is shown is gets to be seen more by the white man who I want validation from. So it's like, you gotta go, I stay, and I'll look better to master.
And not only that, Cristela Alonso, a comedian from Texas, she made a great point. She was talking about ICE agents. She was like, they're talking about deporting all these criminals, right? But they're not going after the criminals because they're afraid of the criminals. They're going after the tamale lady. They're going after the daycare worker. Mm-hmm. They're going after the person that's looking for a job at Home Depot because they're easy targets. These people are afraid of the criminals.
Yes. Yeah. You're going after mice, not lions.
And if you notice, like, even when I saw Trump do an interview recently, they were talking about, like, hey, what about the deportations and the people that are like just regular day workers? Oh, they're criminals too. Because he is trying to criminalize just being Latino. Because when they're talking about, let's get this out in the open. When they're talking about deporting people, they're talking about getting rid of Latin and Black folks.
Sidebar.
And our existence here, period, should be questioned because we are quote unquote all criminals.
And sidebar, even when they try to go after, they claim they're trying to go after
the criminals.
They do it wrong. What happened in Chicago last month?
Oh,
they ran through a Black and brown neighborhood, an apartment building, and they took out mad Black folks, foundational folks, had them on the street in the middle of the night, 3 a.m. in the morning. Kids were handcuffed. So it's like, even when you claim you're going after criminals, you're doing it incorrectly.
Because it's not about that. And I still see a lot of Latinos like supporting that bullshit. The amount of Latinos that I see support what's going on with ICE. I'm like, I am in a simulation. Am I bugging? What is wrong? Is it me? What the fuck is going? I don't get it.
Well, the greatest trick, one of the greatest tricks the devil can ever pull is making the minions fight each other for his love. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's slavery. They said, like, all right, well, you're light skinned or you can read more, so you're better than him, okay? So don't do nothing for him on the side.
It comes down to 3 things: limited literacy, religion, and anti-Blackness. Period.
Yeah.
Period. And everything that you're gonna name for me, oh no, Kia, but what about this? Trust me, it goes back to one of those 3 things.
Well, anti-Blackness is why we don't have free healthcare.
Yeah.
Why we don't have flying spaceships.
Why are they still associating a SNAP benefit recipients with, I'm tired of people buying their weaves with SNAP benefits?
Yeah, I saw that. It's crazy.
Mind you, most of the SNAP recipients are white in this country.
Right.
And no, you cannot buy a weave with SNAP.
This is something you don't like this straight up.
I feel crazy, bro.
It'll be better. We'll work through it. This time you don't like it. Why you saying that? Yeah, I mean, so this country never healed from blackness being existed.
And we're gonna wrap up the political talk because we almost have an hour talking about
this.
Yeah. But is there anything else you want to add? Because I do want to talk about class when it comes to 50 Cent.
Oh yeah, we'll get to class. I just want to say, like I said, Abigail Spanberger. Good for her. I mean, I don't know too much about her. Good for her. I do want to shout out some mayors.
Oh, go ahead.
Some Black women mayors that are that Detroit mayor. What's her name? Mary Sheffield.
Yeah, he was looking at her picture. I thought he wanted to shout her out.
Detroit, what's happening over there? I didn't know it was like that.
There's a lot of beautiful women in Detroit.
Then I saw here in New York State, I saw Albany got this
Dorsey Applers.
I don't know if her name's Applers, but Dorsey.
Yeah, she's cute.
She won for Albany, and then in Syracuse, Sharon Owens.
Oh, wow, black women. And that's what's up.
And then in Conyers, Georgia, shout out to my cousins down there. I saw this other lady, this black lady one. I don't know her name right now. I don't know her name, and I didn't put it in the group chat, but I saw it on Twitter. She won too. Some in Spring Valley.
No, it was a blue wave, and I think that what this says is that a lot of people, like you said earlier, a lot of people I think are getting MAGA remorse, and they may not say, you know, they
won't admit it.
They will never admit, like, yeah, I'm not fucking with it, but they're gonna quietly go to the voting booth and go, fuck this. Oh yeah, they're quiet. I've noticed that the MAGA supporters, yeah, there's a lot of them that are stubborn. They're always gonna be supporting that. But because they're like, you know, they're just stubbornly standing on business, like you mad loud and wrong. But, you know, a lot of people have toned down their MAGA support in the last few months.
I wonder
Maybe
why.
Clarity. No, but this is good, right? Because now you're understanding like, oh, wait, hold on. I didn't think this all the way through. I thought he was lying. I didn't think that those things would affect me. I wanted to hurt other people, but this is the problem. When you vote against the interests of other people, it also affects you.
I get blocked a lot by different people.
Yes!
And I think I will get blocked by Matt Hoffa. And the reason why I say this is
oh my God, he is such a coon.
Last year, he made a post about Project 2025. And he was like, Trump never acknowledged that, or he never co-signed it, so it's not going to happen. So
didn't he have Curtis Lee recently in his show?
He did, definitely. But anyway, later on that same summer or fall before the election, Trump pretty much acknowledged that he's fucking with Project 25. This year it's played out. So whenever something happens, Project 25 related, I always tag like, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? Does he co-sign it now?
He's never gonna address it because he's a coward.
So it's like,
I also want to say, like, we need to put starting. Like, I love to see that so many black women were elected, right, in the office. But for me, like, I'm not going to run with the identity politics anymore, because I've clearly seen people like Mayor Adams of New York City that as soon as they get some power, it's like, I'm going to go do me. I'm going to go.
Mayor.
Yo, my feet hurt from all the tap dancing I'm about to do.
Mayor James St. Patrick.
Another one that's annoying is Stephen A. Smith, but I'm not even going to go in there with him. But 50 Cent.
Oh, before he goes to 50 Cent, there's a funny meme or video of Eric Adams. They put the, whoa, you make me happy. Maze and Beverly and Maze. They put that song.
You make me happy.
Before I Let Go. They put Before I Let Go to a video of Paid in Full of like Makai Five and Ball and making money. This is Eric Adams for the last 4 years. He was just like, he was partying.
Yeah. And not only that, but he was stuffing the pockets of a lot of his special interest groups, like a lot of landlords.
The real party.
And that's why the rent went a lot up. They're not talking about that.
Yeah, the real party he had was with the money.
But with that being said, yo, what's up with your man 50 Cent? Why is Curtis having an opinion on New York City when he hasn't lived in New York City in over 20 years?
This goes back to a few months ago where he made comments about Mamdani. What were the comments back then? I don't remember.
Oh, I don't trust it. But he's gonna drain the city. I think he said something like, "Oh, so many people are gonna leave New York City if he gets elected."
Right.
I'm like, yo, my man, didn't your show just get canceled? Like, you got other things to worry about.
BMF was never worth an ounce of time of watching.
Jesus.
And I'm someone who watched All the Power, which I don't say that lovingly. What I will say is, yes, he's been going at it with Zoran for a while now, taking shots here and there. But I see today he posted a headstone saying NYC, rest in peace, 1664, whatever.
To 2025?
2025. I'm like, what a baby.
I'm like, yo, my man, you don't even live here. And that's another thing. People love to talk shit about New York. Let me tell you something. New York is the baddest bitch in the room. Main energy, main character energy. Because all of y'all, yo, there were more people upset about Mamdani winning that did not live in New York versus actual New York City residents. Like, nobody cares about your little rinky-dink town. Like, yo, my man, don't you have like a heroin epidemic happening in your city right now? Like, hold on. Like, aren't you having like a massive like affordability crisis situation in your city too right now? Because people are flooding you. And yo, all the people that made them promises about if he wins, I'm gonna leave New York City. Please leave. Like, please, like, thank you. Like, please list your apartments on Zillow and Street Easy and let us know so that other people that have been living here can snatch them up.
Yeah.
But people like 50 Cent, and this is why, not for nothing, but when it comes to entertainers, we need to stop glorifying them.
Mhm.
Like, just keep it straight to entertainment, and we should not entertain them giving us any value of a lot of things that have to do with like politics, and because they're never going to live our reality. They live in an alternate reality.
I knew that as a child. I knew that, but I learned that a lot as an adult with Floyd. I said he is a weird guy that I would just watch the fight.
Yeah, there's some people that are like, yo, stick to boxing. That's what I'm gonna listen to, because you know what? I don't care. You're not the person that I should go to about my daily life. There is literally nothing that I can tell you to convince you otherwise.
Right.
So people like 50 Cent, another one is Nicki Minaj. Oh my God, yo.
She's been going in lately with her Trump appreciation.
What did she say?
Something recently she said about, I guess, Trump acknowledged something about God or something. I don't know. It was something very cheap and small, but lately, bit by bit, she's been praising Trump here and there, and I think it's partly.
I mean, but that has to do a lot with haven't you noticed that when people go through like mental breakdowns, or like people that are a little bit weird, like they go really conservative.
Yeah.
Yo, we need to talk about the Venn diagram of the people that are like traditionally conservative and the people that I know that have been out here wilding in the streets, the way they've come together to join forces to support the MAGA movement. The amount of people that I know that I'm like, you want to get rid of the criminals, motherfucker, you are the criminal. You are the criminal. You're the people that I should be. I know you. I went to school with you. You are a scary motherfucker. You are a scammer. You are dangerous. Literally. And the way those people have joined forces with two people that are not supposed to like each other, that would be cops and robbers, right? Literally in the opposite ends come together and join.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that say? What type of linking? What is the connection? It's like, to me, it's just like it's rooted in people that are ultimately selfish, apathetic,
mm-hmm.
and greedy, and like just selfish, apathetic, and just like separatists.
Yeah, people are greedy.
A lot of people do you know what I realized? Most people thrive on feeling better than someone else.
There's an article that me and Floristyle always reference, where basically people were polled at different workplaces. Like, would you rather have X amount of money right along with your colleagues and y'all both living well, or y'all both living bad but you have a little more money than him? And the people chose the second.
That's crazy.
They'd rather get paid less money, but at least someone's below me.
Yep. And
crazy. Like,
you said something recently that I thought was brilliant. I'm like, listen, in life there's two people. There's people that make a mess and there's people that clean it up.
Yeah. There's people that make
a mess and there's people that clean it up. That's it.
And it's funny you mentioned that, because I saw a conversation today between Mehdi Hassan and Charlemagne.
Shout out to Zateo. Zateo News is pretty cool.
Yeah. So what's that?
That's his.
Man. They were. Charlemagne posed a question to Mehdi, saying, "Yo, listen, last night was
Charlemagne.
I know exactly.
Another one.
I know another one.
Yeah.
Last night was a blue wave. Do you think it's time now for those 8 Democrats to come to vote?
Because he feels that they should come together and actually, for the sake of opening up the government.
Yeah. And Mehdi was like, "Hold on, y'all are always asking for one people to be the adults in the room."
Mm-hmm.
When he's like, "Unfortunately, I think this is the right move. Like, no, let the world see it's y'all doing this. as far as the Republicans, because he's like, yo, the Republicans have House, Senate, the presidency, and the Supreme Court. You have enough power to come to us.
And then you know what I'm seeing on the right now with people like Marjorie Taylor Greene,
performance.
By the way, and the Academy Award goes to, because
Performance.
the bitch is an actress. I don't trust that lady. That she is performing, and we know that there's an ulterior motive, right? So right now she's seemingly calling out Republicans for not bringing forth any ideas or trying to come to the table about what's going on with the big beautiful bill. But bitch, you voted for it. You voted for it.
She thought she was in the adult table or the end table. She thought she was sitting at the end table.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess Trump saw it recently. No, you're really on the out table.
Yeah.
But when I call you over to the side of the cafeteria, I'll call you.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, you stay over
and
there.
And she's spilling the tea, yo. She went on The View.
Yeah, The View.
On The View.
That's super left.
Super left, right? And I just think that I like seeing some of the imploding that's happening in the Republican Party low key, but I think that Republicans really played themselves by embracing MAGA, and they did not think that it would eventually implode. Oh no, it's imploding. This is why we're having this blue wave, and we need to continue having this momentum into next year's midterm election.
I guess on the macro level, it's Republicans messed up embracing MAGA. On the micro level, it seems like some Republicans messed up by being so strong about supporting Israel. Because it seems like some conservative,
some Democrats are about to get the fuck out of here too.
But it seems like, growing up, I always was taught that there's a certain sector of Republicans who are from the South and from the Bible Belt, and they are going to always root for Israel because they feel like Jesus Christ will return there one day. So we got to protect that land and whoever's there right now. So I always knew that growing up, but it seems like now whenever the script has flipped, where you got these Tucker Carlsons, you got these Nick Fuentes types,
Candace Owens,
who are like, no, we're not that type of right-wing people.
But I'm glad that Marjorie Taylor Greene did point out, like, a lot of them are being paid to be conservative. A lot of them are being given money to influence people into conservative views. We know this already, and this is why I ultimately feel the presidential election was rigged.
Elon one time when he was upset,
he spilled the beans.
He was just like, it's the tea bag. He was dropping the tea, like he just kept saying different things. Like, what are you saying?
But now that everything is good again,
he's quiet. Like he said something like, he knows I helped him win. He knows what I did for him, or whatever. I was like, what'd you do?
And he's really on the Epstein files.
Yeah, it's crazy. So this has all been performative.
Mm-hmm. I want to tell people that are not in New York City, mind your business.
I want to tell people who are in New York City, support your local person who wants to do a primary challenge. You can challenge Hakeem Jeffries. You can challenge Chuck Schumer. You can challenge.
He gotta go.
I think you should do that. I think next year, what's her name? Beautiful lady. She's great.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
AOC. She the reason why I say she's beautiful because the other night she did a story about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I was like, God damn, she's fine. Skinny but fine. She may challenge for the Chuck Schumer seat in Congress, for like the leader of the House or a leader of the Senate, whatever. And it's like, mind you, there's some people out there who want her to run for president in 2020.
Nope.
Oh no, she's not
happen.
It's not gonna happen yet. Give another decade.
I saw Kamala talk about it. Nope, you better not.
Give us another. You need one more decade.
No, one more decade.
and not you.
It can't be them.
Yeah,
it can't be.
Not you.
It gotta be some. It's like that's why Mamdani was perfect. He was brand new, untainted. Like this is like the perfect storm, guys. And I think that whoever's gonna run, people are talking about Gavin Newsom. I'm like, I don't know. I like the energy that he's keeping, but I also know there's a lot of things that are not happening in California right now because it's a little crazy, but I don't know.
Usually it takes a perfect storm because if Obama didn't have Katrina from Bush, a housing crisis from Bush, a 9/11 attack.
Exactly.
And
that's how we got Obama.
A failed Iraqi war.
By the way, rest in peace, Dick Cheney, who passed away.
Rest in peace, Dick Cheney. A failed Iraqi war. So many different things came to line to say, all right, we'll try the black guy. This is how much.
That's how bad. Yo, Bush fucked up that bad.
Like,
so I think
that's
what's gonna happen with Trump, but it has to be somebody brand new. I don't think it can be any of these like well-known Democrats. Yo, not for nothing. I always go back to Bernie in 2016.
And that was a real crime.
That was the crime, and the Democrats are paying for it. They paid for it for the last 10 years because y'all stole that primary from Bernie Sanders. And looking back, I'm like, yo, he was the best candidate.
Yeah.
He was the best candidate. But y'all wanted a Clinton in there so bad.
Thirsty for legacy.
And not for nothing. Like now, I'm just like, and not for nothing, Mamdani is like a child, like a prodigy of Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, bro, I gotta go with, the person that I see was right.
All along.
The person that actually fought, that's still fighting. This man is in his 80s.
The ideology that should have been embraced originally.
In 2016, instead of going center, motherfuckers wanted to go center. No, you had to push further left.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have known like them. What would have happened if we would have actually given Bernie a real chance?
I feel the same way about Gore. You don't get 9/11 if you have a focused president.
No, you still get 9/11. That was gonna happen.
They would have been attempts, but there was stuff that was like classified documents going to Bush's desk in August of 2001.
You know what definitely?
Oh, what's this? Planes.
You know what's definitely wouldn't have been as bad. I think that if we would not have had Trump in 2020 during the COVID crisis, I don't think as many people would have died, and it wouldn't have been such a severe shutdown.
Right. They were telling fall to winter 2019. He was quoted saying that COVID, that's some Democrat stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He was quoted saying that then. I'm like, oh, this might be serious. They're shutting down fights in China. Boxing matches.
I was wearing a mask in January because my Chinese co-workers were all telling me, oh no, this is coming. This is happening. Like, you need to be careful with who you interact with. I'm like,
I'll never forget February of that year. I had to go to Chinatown for some reason. I forgot what train I used, but when I got out the train to the break February cold, all you saw was the whole community wearing masks. I was like, what happened? Is there construction? Is this a bomb? What happened?
Because that was odd.
Yeah, I was like, why do you wear a mask down here? Mm-hmm. Like, something's not right. But
with that being said, and now we have people that say, COVID was a fluke. This was all Democratic. People are just crazy. Limited literacy, the Bible.
Everything can't be a fluke. Moon landing. What's the shit that happened in Europe with Hitler?
The Holocaust.
Slavery.
Everybody says that. Oh, that was fake.
I was like, you guys are really.
Slavery. That was such a long time ago.
It's like, how crazy. Yeah. But to your point, classism. Yeah, people are choosing money over morals. People choose money over morals. That's a sad thing.
Sorry, I had to turn on the light because I'm like, whoa. All right. So, anything else on the docket before we wrap it up?
No, I think that's it. I think we'll see what happens. And then I just saw that he has an all-female team. So it's going to help him transition to his new job in January. It's an all-female team, including some lady that worked with Biden back in the day.
Well, listen, I think that, as the mayor, he gets to appoint all of the head of the agencies. He needs to pick the best people for the positions. I hope he's making the best decision. You're picking the best people, right? Mm-hmm. And I wish him the best, man. And I have to wish him the best because I live here and I want us to thrive. And that's what they don't want you to do. They don't want him to thrive because, God forbid, they see we do somewhat successful. We have somewhat success. Mm-hmm. And they know that it's going to spread because New York City, baby, that's that bad bitch everybody want to be like.
Yeah,
we are the trendsetters. Everybody's watching.
Zohran Mamdani announces the all-female transition team as he prepares for mayoralty. So let's see what happens. Let's see, because he did a video today that I liked where he kind of broke down like, all right, the election,
I saw that.
I won, but now it's time to transition, and people who have ingenuity.
He is using social media perfectly,
right, because if you take him at his word and his actions lately in the last 12 months, if not more, he seems like someone who's going to always be accessible, where you can hold him accountable if he does something that you disagree with.
I just really pray for his security.
Eric Adams, you had to go to the club to find him. Which bar he's at today? Let me go find him and yell at him.
Yo, he really has a career in party promotion. He should really pursue that.
James St. Patrick, power. We got a power man. But yeah, let's see what happens. I'm rooting for him, rooting for his success, rooting for him to transform the city into something better, to keep evolving.
And anything else before we wrap it up?
No, that's it pretty much. The blue wave. Let's see what happens. See what happens.
Do you want to say anything about Gavin Newsom's? No, not Gavin Newsom's. Oh my God, Professor Galloway's comments about what's going on with men, and we need to recognize that November is Men's Mental Health Month.
Before we do that, Prop 50. You said Gavin Newsom. Prop 50 passed out west. It's a redistricting lines. It's two, and it's a lot to talk about. But that passed.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing for Californians, and because they were trying to reshift the lines, and Gavin Newsom was trying to protect redistriction of boundaries. You said Scott Galloway, right? Scott Galloway is a writer, podcaster, professor at NYU, and for a few years now, he's been on this thing about how he said that men today are a new species. They're asexual and they're something else. They're just siloed to themselves. Men are no longer social beings, but they're really like hermits. And he said that's a danger to society. It's a danger to our finances in the future, society in general. I tend to agree with that.
And also the extinction of men.
And fertility rates in general are down, which means that it's going to hurt us as a society down the road. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you want Social Security benefits. What I would say about this idea of the male loneliness today that's leading now asexual lives for men, lonely lives, or just solitude lives. Sorry. I'll say that I've seen that trend. There's a lot of guys today who are comfortable being alone, or they voice that they'd rather be alone right now versus dating. They don't want to go out and experience the social part of life. They're scared to be in relationships even. I say to that, I've seen that coming. I think some men are so petty about life and what they feel is victims, they feel like, you know what, I'm not going to pour back into society because I didn't get what I want. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of men today who feel like a lot of men are very fearful. They're pretty fearful of getting burned in life. You know what I mean?
They're afraid of rejection.
I
also feel like a lot of men have built like a fake world around them where it's like, all I need is online. I have friends on Discord and on my video games. I watch porn, so I don't really need to talk to women. I could just, self-pleasure, or I could buy sex. And I don't need that need for social interaction. And they've created this world that comforts them where they don't have to come out of their comfort zones.
Yes. In a short, yeah, pretty much. As someone who grew up a gamer, in 05, 19 years old, going on 20, when I saw Xbox 360, I met a dude named Zach Biggest. His name was Biggest, from London. And we would just talk for years while playing Gears of War. It's like, what do I have to go outside for now and entertain a girl where I'm meeting his cousin who's a chick online through Xbox 360. I'm meeting people online and I don't have to leave my room for this. What's the incentive of going out on a $200 date?
Because
you know what I'm saying? I understand
there is value, and women know that, right? Because women, we know the importance of having friendships and having a social circle, right? It's good for your brain development, right? It's good for your social skills, right? It's good for your emotional well-being.
Well, probably, I would say so, but I would say this though: this male quote-unquote loneliness epidemic and the whole asexual male now who's being reclusive to society, I think is also showing there is the value system to life. It's all relative. It's all subjective. Some men value life differently. Some men say, I don't have to go and bungee jump with a girl and stare into her eyes in a vineyard with wine in our hands to feel fulfilled. I just need my new pack from PS5. It gets released at 3 o'clock. I'll update my character. I'll give him a new cowboy boot, and my day's not happy.
And this makes me happy, yeah.
But my thing is, like, can you blame them? Because people's values are different. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's sad.
But why would it be sad? I think it's sad, but why do you think it'd be sad?
I think it's sad because you are unwilling to come out of your comfort zone and know something different outside of what's available to you. You're only the man in your block. You're not the man outside of your zip code. Know what I mean?
People are comfortable now. Men are comfortable now more than ever being a big fish in a small pond. Whether their small pond is like a gaming system and they're the number one person in a leaderboard for kills and by sniper. They feel fulfilled by that. They go to work the next day saying, I got the most kills around the world in Call of Duty. We're really like, dude, you can go outside and you live life. People have different value systems today. And I think if you're a heterosexual woman and you are nervous about this, I think this may also trigger you to be like, okay, well, how can I be a more attractive mate than a gaming machine? So, because I think now more than ever, it's teaching women how to. Now you got to wrap yourself to the mirror, like I did in 7th grade. You got to have lines. You got to say, all right, I'm wild.
So you're saying that women should now pursue men?
I think women should always have been more vocal about interest in men.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If you're a heterosexual woman, if you're gay, you're already good. But if you're a heterosexual woman and you're nervous about procreating, etc., and finding a mate, you may want to now realize, okay, I'm competing with machines now. For someone's time. How do I step my game up when I go out in the world where I'm more attractive to them, or I let them know that, yo, I can pull up on you and show you interest.
So I understand where you're coming from, and I see that as like, that is an option, right? I just sometimes it bothers me at times that the responsibility always falls on a woman to change her behavior, and we don't challenge the man to change his. The reality is, though, in this world, women have evolved and men haven't.
I agree.
That's why so my thing is, when are men gonna step it up and do the evolution? And is it always gonna be the work of a woman to do it? I'm not saying that what you're saying is not a good option, because women should be more comfortable with getting rejection. Women should be more comfortable with being more vocal and being more direct about their attraction and maybe pursuing somebody, right? Like, I'm not against that. But again, like, men gotta step it up, because we've been doing all the steps.
I would not only agree, I would say men have benefited from patriarchy so much where, for the last 80 years, all they needed was a high school degree to bring home the bacon from their factory job. And then they didn't evolve with the times and say, all right, I need to get more papers on me, more degrees on me. I need to diversify my portfolio. I need to pick up more trades and more skills. I need to think about ownership down the line. I drive a truck for a company. Maybe I should buy my own truck and invest in myself. A lot of men weren't proactive, so they realized the world went from analog to digital, and they were left behind because they chose to stay behind. I agree totally there. And that's not on a woman, in my opinion, to attract. But I will say there are dudes out there who are actually doing well for themselves and are still choosing to not cohabitate with somebody else. And I say for that guy who's choosing to stay home on Saturday night with an Xbox or a old lady, I would tell women, yo, you got competition now. It's not another woman. It's a machine. If you want,
I can't compete with a machine.
If you want a heterosexual
I can't compete with a machine, right? And I think that again, a lot of times men kind of glorify the whole, like, I'd just rather be single and, like, just have random women and just use them when I need them. Please excuse like a very poor Christmas tree back there. We started somewhat Christmas decorating, but we haven't finished, as you can see. But again, like, I can't compete with a machine. A machine is not a human. Like, they're gonna have capabilities I don't have, and otherwise, there's some things that a machine won't be able to do that I can do. So I'm not gonna step it down and compare myself to a machine. I just think that men, in my opinion, need to continue doing the work And
Sure.
women also have to strip themselves of certain patriarchal things in order for us to both come together and meet at the same time.
I agree.
I think that sometimes, I'll say it, like sometimes we have unrealistic expectations of certain men. Like, so he needs to be a provider. He needs to pay all the bills. He needs to be very smart. He needs to be good in bed. He needs to be a great father. He needs to be very loyal, right?
You want a Casanova Tupac.
A Casanova Tupac, right? But and by the way, like that's not an unreasonable thing. But then it's like, okay, if you have those expectations, then you got to be an exceptional woman too. You know what I'm saying? And I find that a lot of times men that are like that are not looking for like perfection. They just want somebody that makes life easy. Versus like sometimes us as women, when we are like, yo, I got a double master's degree. I'm the executive at this. We want a man to be just like that. So you become the man that you want, but that's not it. That's just, it's not interchangeable.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Okay.
All in all, whether it's that situation where humans connecting or Zoran winning, I think the overall theme is capitalism has put a strain on our daily lives, private and professional and political. And capitalism, like you said, it's great with oversight. It's great when it comes to checks and balances. But when you let the inmates run the house for too long,
people are going to abuse it. People are going to go crazy. People are going to, they're going to do things that they can get away with. And we don't check them. We don't give them any repercussions for breaking the laws.
Well, that's all I guess for this evening. I guess next time there's a big election, we'll definitely come back and reconvene about what we think and updates on Zoran's journey. Let's do a Zoran check-in every few months. And
I think that's the biggest difference, I guess, between progressives and conservatives. Like, we can be critical of our own elected officials. Like, I have no problems criticizing a lot of the people that I've even voted for myself, but conservatives, for some reason, have a hard time admitting, like, yo, man, this dude is a clown.
Right.
Like, why we need to tap into, why is there such a resistance? It's pride, it's your ego. And your pride and your ego are impeding you from moving forward. But anyways.
Thank
you so much for having me again in your podcast. I really appreciate it. Hey, look at her baby. Look at that smile. She loves a dada. Oh, I think she
dada. All right,
well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and you gotta stay.
And we'll check in with you in about another 90 to 100 days because I want to check in on Zoran after his first 100 days.
Thank you for tuning into the break room.
Thank you, yeah.